Hey everyone, thank you for joining for our weekly study jam to learn Python. And we already had a long journey and we covered a lot of topics. But for those who joined recently, I want to share some resources for you to catch up with the topics. And there are many free resources and there are many topics and you might be overwhelmed, but we are following the Kaggle free Python course that covers just enough for you to start programming, grasp the basic concepts, and start maybe solving problems and apply this programming knowledge to any other topics like machine learning or maybe development of software programs. And this Python course on Kaggle covers the most important topics, which are the data types, basic data types like strings, integers, lists, dictionaries. And last time we stopped at dictionaries, and this is the last topic about the data types. So today I wanted to give you 5 problems, and I hope everyone could solve at least one, but we will try to cover the solutions for all of them. And before we start practicing, I want to share one interesting resource or opportunity for you. And I just Googled, so happy Equinox Day for you all. We have a holiday in Japan. So this is the Python course. We already covered until this, the last topic, but I wanted to share with you the opportunity, which is the Google Summer of Code 2022. And already the participated mentors, participated companies, startups are listed. And you can search here for any organizations that participate in this Google Summer of Code 2022 and see what kind of problems they have, what kind of level of problems they have. Don't be afraid, because there are plenty of open source projects that require basic programming knowledge. And the purpose of this program, Google Summer of Code, is to help students to contribute to open source projects, to practice their skills, to gain new skills, and maybe to advance in their future career, because you can use this experience to list on your resume and on your social media. So please check it out. And last time I also shared with you the different programming competitions, which is Kickstart and coding jam or something. So I think I will try to find the link later on. And I see there is one more participant joined, maybe. Okay, Remy. Hi, Remy. So this is it for the opportunities. And let's start with the practice. So today I prepared 5 problems about strings, lists, and dictionaries. So how should I do? Would you like to go problem one by one, or would you like to see all problems and pick the one that you want to try first? Let me know your opinion. And by the way, do you see the screen? Okay. So if you want to see all problems, then maybe it's better for me to share this presentation with you all so that you can maybe like this. Okay, I'm not sure how to get. Sorry, it's a little bit frozen. Maybe I need to refresh. Okay, so I'll try to share this presentation slides with you so that you can maybe pick the problem that is more comfortable for you to try first. Otherwise, let's all try with the first problem. Let's see. Sorry, my computer is a little bit off. Sorry for making you wait so long. This is the link for the slides. You can access all now. And if you're comfortable, let's try the first problem. I'm going to explain the what they are asking in this first problem. So we need to write a function that receives a string, for example, a google.com string, and returns the dictionary, which takes the characters as keys and the count of the number of characters as values. The expected output is written like this. So for example, we get the first key G, and then we count, okay, we have here 2G, and then we have 2 O's, 1 L, and so on. This is the first problem. If you're comfortable, you can start right now. Otherwise, I want to explain others so that you can also start them if you feel they are more easier or more interesting for you. The second problem is we need to write a function that adds ing at the end of a string. But the condition is this string should be at least 3 characters long. If the string already contains the ending part ing, then we should add ly instead. But the same condition works here. We should have at least 3 characters long string. And otherwise, if the string has less than 3 characters, we will leave it unchanged. For example, if we got the input string B, this string contains at least 3 characters, and we're gonna add ing and return the resulted output. If our string sing is at least 3 characters length, but it already contains ing, we will add ly. And if we got m as a string input, then we will return intact string as an output. So this is the second problem. If you have any question regarding these problems, let me know. I'll try to explain in a different way. The third problem is we got a dictionary, and we need to add a key with value to this dictionary. And if you look at the sample, the way we and the input and the expected result, we see that the way we add a key with value has some kind of law. So here we have 0 key, then 1 key, and then we have value 10 and 20. So key 0 has value 10, key 1 has the value 20. And we add the third key, which is 2, with value 30. So the law here is that the key increases by 1 and the values increases by 10. So you need to write a function that receives a dictionary like this and returns the dictionary like this. So the difference between the problem 3 and problem 1 and 2 is that here we have the set input, so we don't receive any other input, and we should expect the same output. But in problem 3 and in problem 2 and 1, we can get any other output instead of Google Chrome. We can get the input like any other names or strings and other words. Okay. Problem 4 is we need to write a function that returns the sum of all items in a dictionary. So the explanation is that you have a dictionary and we have key and values in a dictionary. So we need to iterate or use a specific method or function that returns a sum of values of this dictionary. Not keys, but values, okay? And the last program is we need to use list comprehensions to construct a new list, but we need to add 6 to each item in the list. So for example, we receive a list as an input, and as an output, we return a list, but the items in the list are the same items plus 6. Okay, so this is the explanation. You are free to start with any problem, and I'll give you about 10 minutes to think about what approach would you use, or maybe start writing some first lines of code. Okay, and after this, I want to check up on you to see if you already chose a problem and you know approximately or how to approach this problem. Okay. So now it's 5:15 almost. So in 5:25, we will discuss how are you doing, what problem have you chosen, And if you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, okay. Hi, Abdullah. Yeah, I'll share the link. This is the link. Please don't hesitate if you have any questions about the question itself, or maybe you want to make sure you have a right approach and you want to get any like advices how to start solving, we can discuss freely, okay? It's not like a test or something that we need to do by ourselves. We can discuss everything. And by the way, I think those who joined later on, you might, or even those who are from the beginning, maybe you don't know where actually to practice the code, right? There are many environments. One of them is Anaconda or Conda that I always recommend to install. You can do this later on to save some time. There are two ways you can start writing your code and see the outcome of this. One is using Jupyter, and you can use Jupyter with Anaconda, but there's one way you can do this without any installation. Just Google Jupyter.org and you can, so I'll share this link with you all. This one. And you need to open maybe this one or the first one. Okay, so you need to open, yes, the first one, Jupyter Lab. And when you open it, just go to the plus sign, this one, or file, new, and notebook, or plus sign, then you get this launcher and choose the notebook by Olight, this one. And you got this environment. So you can write here a code. For example, I create a variable and another variable and say D is A plus B, and I want to see what equals D. I run it. Maybe this. Oh, it's if it's star, then it's processing. Need to wait. Somehow it's 9. Okay, so a little bit long to wait, but I think it should work. And the second method is, so we are using Kaggle pattern course as a template for our study schedule, study topics. And here you can create a notebook. So after the theory, there are always a practice. And practice consists of it's a notebook, which you can run here in this environment. And it looks similar to Jupyter, that you have these cells. Also, it takes a little bit of time. Okay, and we don't need to write this one, I think. So click plus code, and you can start writing. So same here, before, we say D is A plus C. We need to wait a little bit. Now let me share with you this notebook. Now we see the output is 9. It's expected, okay? So you need to use any of this to solve problems. If someone didn't understand anything and you're hesitating to ask in the chat or unmute yourself, you can write me personally in the chat as well. There is an option to choose someone you want to write a message, and I can reply to you. I think it's 10 minutes already passed. Would anyone like to share what kind of problem you're thinking about? What type of problem? Problem 1, 5, maybe 3. What's your approach? Or any thoughts about the problems?
Problem 1.
So have you started writing a code, or you have any ideas? How would you approach it?
Using for loops, right?
So yeah, we can iterate over each character in the string, and then how we will evaluate whether, how will we calculate the number of the occurrence of each character? What would you use for this?
If condition.
Yeah, you can use if condition. And to create a dictionary, in a dictionary form, what would you use? So we have here a string, we iterate over a string, and at each iteration, we compare if the character is what? How would you evaluate it? If we already encountered the character, then we should do something, right? So because when we are given a string, there is no dictionary yet, right? So we need to first create a dictionary. How do we create a dictionary? There are many ways. One is we can create an empty dictionary first, right? Then when we created an empty dictionary, when we start to iterate over the string using for loop, okay? Yeah. And then we evaluate. Okay, so if this character is present in a dictionary, then the value of this character, so key will be the character, right? The value of this character should be increased by 1, right? Yes. If the character is not present in the dictionary yet, we should add this character as a key to the dictionary and initialize the value of this key to 1, right? So imagine I have a pocket, or I have a bookshelf, and I receive some books, a bunch, like many books. Then I see the name of the books. The first book I take, and I see, okay, if the name of the book is present in the bookshelf, then I will add +1. If the name of the book is not present in the shelf, I will put this book into the shelf and write 1. Okay, so we have just 1 occurrence. Do you have any questions about the first program? If you understand the approach, then maybe this is the time for you all to try it, okay? Tomorrow, is it clear?
Like I did, but in my case, it's not counting.
You can.
Like I write some code, but it's not working.
Okay, so please, could you just share with us your code? We can try, look at it. Maybe you have just small mistakes that is on the way for you to solve it, but you have the right approach. Hi, Aman. We are solving a problem. First problem right now. We are not solving, we are discussing it. And I'm going to share the link for all other problems for you to try. Okay. While Dimaro is sharing your code, I hope let's discuss other problems. Anyone started any other problem and wants to share any thoughts? So we are not sharing the whole solution. We want to discuss the possible solution, possible approach. Okay, Abdullah, Dave, Dimaro shared codes. Awesome. So 3 people 3 people started solving first problem. If anyone started any other problem, let's discuss it first. Otherwise, let's see the solution by Demaral and discuss it, okay? I'll do this in Kaggle environment. Okay, so we have here a string. We created a, oh, I see. So we created the dictionary. That's correct. We can create the dictionary by this format. Then we have here a for loop. It's perfect. For I in a string. Perfect. So we will iterate over each character here. And we evaluate if I is infrequent. Okay, so if character is present in this dictionary, then yeah, so we should access the values of the dictionary by this format. That's perfectly correct. And we increase values by 1. And I think we should add here another possibility. So if I is not present, so else, we will initiate values, right? So Demaral, would you like to add how should we write here else statement? Maybe you can share in the chat. So here you only evaluated whether I is present in frequency, right? But we know in advance that it won't be present because we created an empty dictionary. That's why we certainly should have else statement, right? We should write here something like else and do something. So we have here else. And what else? So you have here
frequency I equal to 1.
Frequency
I equal to 1.
Correct. Yeah. So we initialize it to 1. Then you print frequency, right? And somehow nothing happens here. Okay, so I have here actually an output. Is it the same for you?
I didn't include else.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, so if you don't include else, if you don't include else, so when the program will iterate over characters, certainly there is nothing in the dictionary, right? Then it will evaluate, okay, if the character is in the dictionary, then increase the value of the key of the dictionary. But we know that there is nothing in the dictionary, so it won't do anything. And when you print frequency, it would be a empty dictionary. Okay, so one thing that I want to add here is we are trying to write a program that we want to use maybe later on. And I think I haven't emphasized this before, but when I ask you to write a program, it means I want you to write actually a function. This script works perfectly well, right? We have here a dictionary with keys that have values of the occurrence of each character. But we need to write a function. Function helps us to reuse the code later on ourselves or by others. And what we should add here to create a function? This is the question for all of you. If anyone have any ideas, please share with us. How can we modify this script to create a function that receives a string and then returns the dictionary in this form? What should we do with this script? Do anyone remember how we create a function? We have always a definition, right? So we write, okay, so I see here, yeah, Abdullah says def, yeah, so this is the keyword. We have def, and you see it's keyword because it marks green in this Kaggle environment. Then we say function name, And for example, we will say this is the character count. Then optionally, we can have an input or no input. In our case, we receive the integer. That's why we will have receive the string. That's why we will have the input here. And let's say a string. Okay. Don't forget about this colon, and everything after this colon is going to be in the body of the function. That's why we always need to have the space like this, okay? Now we created a function, or we defined a function. For this function to work, we need to call it. Otherwise, we don't have any output. And by the way, we should have one more thing in the function. So we use def keyword. We have a function name, optional input. We have a colon. After this colon, we have a body of the function. And we create functions, but we can access the output of this function using print statement, right? To directly print something, or to return something that we receive when we call the function. Yeah. So in this case, you can choose, I think, let's say you can choose anything. You can print something or return something. Let's use print function, okay? So we will have here print frequency. Now, as I said, we need to call this function for it to work. Let's call it, we call it by its name, character count, and we parse, or we give the input, which is our a string, right? Let's say a string. Okay, so let's see. I hope it works. Yeah, how to. Yeah, I think it works, but how to, maybe we should change the name so we can see the different output. Let's say, so this is the solution by Demaral. Okay, so every character in her name is here has the occurrence of 1, except the a character, right? We have here 2. So this is the solution for the first problem. If you have any questions, any uncertainty about why we did this or why we did that, or you have any other method to solve the solution, please share with us your thoughts. So let's just quickly see the solution by diff. So, oh, I see. So diff actually had almost the same solution or approach as Demaral, but I already see here diff lacks an else statement. So we can expect that the program will just return empty dictionary. And you also have a type conversion, right? Diff. So you tried to convert the dictionary into the string format. And I think that's interesting. Interesting method. I'm not sure what's the purpose of it, because the program asks to return or print the dictionary. So you don't need actually to have any type conversions, but can we actually perform the type conversion from dictionary to a string? Let's find out. So we have here a dictionary. Let's try this, okay? Okay, so we have here none, and it first prints this it first calls the function and parse the name of the model here. And we have here printed statement, okay? That's why we have one printed dictionary. Then we again call a function and we parse the same input model. And when we call a function, it will print us the statement. That's why we have second time printed dictionary. Then we are trying to convert something to a string and we receive none. Why is that? This is because actually we can't, here we have nothing because we didn't return anything. If we didn't return anything, then there is nothing to convert, okay? And let's say we use the return statement. And in this case, we have here, I think, a call to a function, which will return this dictionary. And in the end, we convert it to a string. So we have here these two let's say quotes. So this is the string type. If we, for example, save this as a solution, a variable, and write like this, solution, to check whether it converts our dictionary to a string, and write type. For example, this is output, and write type output. We will see string, okay? So if you didn't watch my solution, then we can discuss other problems. Otherwise, let me give you about 5 minutes to choose any problem from 2 to 5 and think about the approach. How would you solve this problem, okay? Or even start writing first lines of your solution. So it's 42 right now. So in 5 minutes, let's discuss any problem. And also Abdullah has his own solution. Let me try it. I will copy it to Kaggle and just to check it. I see. Now the same thing is you need to write it in a function format, but let's run it. Okay, so Doha has a different approach. Interesting. Maybe if we have time, we can discuss this solution. Nice solution. But something is, oh, I see. It's an interesting solution by Abdullah because here you can notice that the key value pairs is correct, but the order is different, right? It's random. And to explain this, we need to understand what set is and what it does to our string. Okay, Abdullah has shared his solution for problem number 2. Good. Anyone is free to approach problem 3 or 4 and 5. Okay, Rami also tried to solve the second problem. Perfect. Let's save this to our Kaggle environment and discuss it later on. I'll share both codes of you. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, maybe I haven't. Okay. You have about a minute or more to try any other problem. You can try number 4, number 5 problem. And you don't have to share whole code with us. Any thoughts, any ideas, what type of concepts came to your mind that you can use to solve this problem? Maybe for loop, maybe if-else statements. Okay, so Abdullah and Rami approached the number 2 problem. Is there anyone who tried to solve or thought about any other problem? If yes, let's see the problem 2 and then discuss the rest problems together, okay? So problem 2, those who have not shared the code, do you have any ideas what concepts can we use to solve this problem?
If conditional?
Yeah, if statements, right? So we certainly need to evaluate whether our string is more or equal to 3 in length. Yeah. Then we will define the function. And in this function, we will include the if-else statements. What else? What concepts should we know to perform the actions on these strings? What should we know about strings?
Maybe to access the last 3 characters. Like
yeah. So one approach could be
-3.
So you can approach it by accessing the last 3 characters in the string to evaluate whether they are equal I and G respectively, right? Do any one of you have any other approach? How can we access these 3 last characters?
Slicing.
So Rami says slicing, yeah, to get the last 3 character of the string to prepare the string ing. Yeah. So you can use slicing. Okay. Any other ideas? What's difficult in the Demeral's approach is that when you access one by one to compare, okay, the third item from the end is equal to I, the second item from the end is equal to N, the last item equal to G. When you do this, you need to have a for loop, right? And there is a more concise way to solve this. I don't think that saying that Demeral's approach is wrong is correct way. It's just a different approach. Remember, we used the format if something contains or if something in the string. This way we can access the string or using slicing. So we will specify what range of the string we are focusing on. And then we say, if ing is in this string, in this place, then add ly, okay? So this is the approach. Let's see what Abdullah and Remy suggested. So let's see Abdullah's solution first. He defined the function using the def keyword and ing ly. This is the name of the function, right? And we have here the input x. And don't forget that we don't need to have the space here. It's usually performed like this, written like this. We have the input right after the definition, the function name. Then we have colon, space here, and we compare. Okay, so if length is more than 2, then we have another condition. If x, and we start from, we measure the length of our string, so length x, we subtract 3. So for example, let's define x to be, so this is going to be like input is b, for example, and we will call function. So I recommend don't forget to have this call statement so that I understand that you know that it will only work if you call the function, right? If I just run like this, we don't get anything. And so we call function, we provide the input, say input 1, okay? Because I think it might be a reserved word, okay? So we parse here b, and b has the length more than 2, then we go to the next conditional statement. Now we compare. The b length is 3. We subtract 3 minus 3 is going to be equal to 0. From 0 to the end. So he uses the colon. It means from 0 to the end. And if from 0 to the end, something here equals to ing, then we create a variable out, and it's going to be equal to our input string plus ly. Otherwise, we will add ing. Okay, and this is the block that goes together. But either of these will be executed, right? Then this block goes together, and either of this will be executed, either of this or this. And if the length is less than 2 or equal to 2, then we will just initialize the variable out to x and return it, right? Actually, you don't need to have, so let me just comment that I noticed from the solution I think if we run this program, we'll get the, oh no, I think I have, so this is my mistakes. I created the variable without these marks. I forgot how it's called. Line 1. Why is that? English. Something is wrong, yeah?
Maybe
Yeah, so
instead of input 1, put x.
So when you provide the input to the function, it will go here and it will be saved as x. So I think it's okay. One thing that I want to say about the code written by Abdullah is that when you use print statement, you will wrap the content of our output into the brackets. But when you use a return statement, you don't need any brackets. This is the first thing. Another thing I need to check accurately if this actually works, because from what I have tried so far mentally, I think this is not maybe working. Let's see. Okay, so it works here. We have being, yeah. Let's see another example. For example, have star ink staringly. Oh, I see. So this is actually what works. Interesting. So if the okay, I think I know the staring. So I will create just a random word. Yeah. So here, what I think what doesn't work in this code is that Abdullah compares or evaluates whether whole string contains ing, and if it contains, then add ly. But we should compare whether the end of our string contains ing, and if yes, then we will add ly, right? So here, the end, so x has ing, and we should add ly, but it will add ing. So if you it actually works. If you have if I had made a mistake, please let me know. So here, for example, the length will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. 9 minus 3 is going to be 6, from 6 to end. Oh, I see. So it's going to evaluate the end 3 characters, right? And because it doesn't contain ing, it will add ing. I see. So that's why it works. Okay. So we just solved the problem by removing these brackets. Yeah, so this won't work. Oh, it works. I see. You don't need it. Okay. Let's see the solution by me. So Remy gets the input. Oh, that's interesting. So Remy gets the input from user. Yeah. And then he evaluates whether, oh, sorry, Remy, I used the pronouns he, but if I had a mistake, please let me know. I don't see your faces and I don't know your pronouns. Okay, so we here evaluate whether the length is equal or more than 3. That's correct. Then we evaluate whether the input, user input, starting from 0 to -4, and we have a 0, -4, and then -1 is going to be the step size, right? So you're trying to understand whether it's super complicated. Okay, let me understand this. Otherwise, add ing. Let's run this program. Okay, so right here, B, and it returns B, right? But it should return ing. Let's see what's the mistake here. Remy, could you comment? What does this mean? Because I think I don't know what you're trying to do here. How do you do this? So this is the string, and this is the index of the string, right? But you also have here another indexing. Is Remy here? Okay, Remy, if you know how to describe this or what you're trying to do here, let us know. Because I think I don't quite understand. Let's maybe Google it. And it's already 6 o'clock, so we have not discussed all the problems. If there are people who approached any other problem, would you like to share your oh, so I see. So Aman tried to solve number 3. Let's quickly discuss number 3. And I think I won't take another minutes from you. We can always discuss it next time. So number 3, we need to. So we receive this dictionary, right? And then we need to create another dictionary. Oh, I see. So Remy, oh no, this is Aman, right? So Aman used the update method. Okay, let's see. It works. So Aman used the already prepared or developed method update that will take the input, which is our key value pair, yeah, in a dictionary, and update the existing dictionary, mydict, this one. Yeah. Oh, I see. This is very concise way, right? What can be other ways? Good job, Aman. Super easy solution. Did anyone try to solve this problem as well, or thought about it? Any approach? Okay, Rami. So Rami. Okay, yeah. So there's another approach. Yeah. So we have here a dictionary, and then he creates the value of the key 2 and update it. So okay, so we have here the original dictionary and then the new dictionary. So another method is just add a key value pair. What we do is we use the index type as in strings, as in lists or arrays, and we assign the key to a value. Yeah, this is another approach. This approach doesn't use any methods. Yeah, that's a good job. Okay, so I deleted something. Okay, it works. Did anyone tried another solution? I think this is a super easy solution. How would we solve this problem if we saw any law? For example, our keys increase by 1 and values increase by 10. How would we solve this problem?
For loop.
For loop,
For
yeah.
Loop.
Yeah, or we could Yeah, so we can access the keys and values. I just wanted to share another solution. Maybe it's not the optimal one. I just wanted to recall different important methods of dictionaries, which are, for example, dict keys and dict values. Yeah, this is to access the keys and values respectively. And you can access both of them using the dict items call. Okay, this is the method of dictionaries. But I'm not saying this is the optimal solution, just to you to try the built-in methods of dictionaries. Okay. Okay, so Abdullah says we can access the dictionary as did Remy, yeah, using this format, and then use append and append the value to this key. Let's see if it works. Okay, so we have here the type object is not subscriptable. Maybe because the append is the function or method of the string. Yeah, let's see, help append maybe. And comment this line. Is not defined. Yeah, I think this is because this might be because okay, it doesn't have the okay type object string doesn't have the attribute append. Let's try dictionary. Okay, something is wrong. Somehow it doesn't work as well. Did it work on your computer? Append 30. That's interesting. It didn't work. Yeah, I think because append, or it works with lists. Let me try list. This might be the method for a list. Array or list. Trying to find how to describe this function. Okay, append. Let's see, maybe just by Googling. Yes, it's a list method, yeah? So we can append the to the list, but not to the dictionaries. Yeah, so that's why it doesn't work. But I don't remember how to get the information from using the help function, yeah? Okay, so we solved 3 problems and we have 2 more. If you're interested, you can solve it on your free time until the next session. Otherwise, we will solve it together or at least discuss together next Monday. And we have still one more topic, which is the libraries, external libraries of Python. We will cover this next week. Thank you, everyone who tried to solve the problem, who joined our weekly Python Fundamentals Study Jam, and for your active participation. Aman has shared the solution. Okay, so I think this is the, I see. So this is the use of append method in the list, yeah? And I hope to see you next week at the same time. Thank you very much for your participation. If you have any questions, you can ask right now. Otherwise, this is the end of our study jam.
Thank you.